darn.
Lorenzen drove one of the overhead cam 427
Okay.
Mustangs.
Yeah.
Petty had a Hemi Barracuda.
Oh, yeah, that little Barracuda. In fact, that car has been restored, and it really looks good.
Oh,
It had
yeah.
the altered wheelbase on it. It was 43 Junior, and it's sitting up there in their shop. And neat car. That was one of the coolest cars I ever saw when I was a kid, was that dragster. Yeah, Richard, he ran it a little bit when Chrysler was boycotting NASCAR because of the Hemi. So he went drag racing, and then unfortunately he was involved in an accident up in Georgia and went into the crowd and killed a little boy. And that kind of soured him on drag racing after that. But then the Chrysler came back in halfway through the season, and everything was fine. And then Ford got mad, and they pulled out the next year. So they're a bunch of kids, these are my toys, and I want to play with them. And if you don't want to, then the heck with you.
I ran across another thing I thought was cool.
Boy, I appreciate this.
1970.
Okay.
Japan.
Yes.
6'4", 260-pound Tony Tiny Lund, finished sixth in the Fuji 200 mile stock car race in a Nissan.
That's right. He sure did. Can you imagine that? In fact, a friend of mine had the helmet that he wore in that race. It had a picture of a fish jumping out of the water, because he had set the world record for the striped bass, 55 pounds. And so he had this striped bass painted on his helmet. But, he was in that race. I've only seen one picture of him. There we go.
That's probably it.
Yeah, I'll be darned.
Some Japanese car parts, I guess.
Yep.
And Falstaff.
Oh, yeah. That was at Mount Fuji Raceway.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, how about that? That's pretty neat. You've been doing some homework there, bud.
Well, when I find stuff, I kind of try to squirrel it away. This was some story. 1994, and I don't know the track. Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, running for the championship.
Right.
Dale had the number 1 pit. Bill had the number 2. Race was bumper to bumper. I'll just read this. Bill had the lead and would be blocking Dale out of his pit. So they made a deal, and the team serviced each other's cars.
You're kidding.
Bill was running and ended up with Dale's Hoosier tires.
I'll be darned.
Elliott's team put some wedge in Dale's car.
It's amazing. The things you find when you're doing some research, that's amazing.
Yeah, that seemed like an amazing story.
Well, you're the king of research, that's for sure. It's really pretty cool. Who would have
That's what
thought
having a short attention span does.
Yeah, and having a good computer, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Here's another one.
Okay.
Memphis, Arkansas Speedway.
Yes, the Memphark. Yeah, Memphark. It was right on the...
Mile and a half dirt track.
High bank, dirt, no guardrails. Marvin Patch won a race there. He told me it was the roughest darn thing. What happened was the owners of the track, they went ahead, they put down the base for the asphalt, but they never had the money to pave it, so they ran on the base. And he said it was just miserable. And the picture of him in Victory Lane, he's covered in dirt, and the cars beat to pieces, and they killed 2 guys there within a couple of days of each other. And going over the bank and ended up down in the fish pond. They had fish ponds on either end of the track. In fact, when I went to the Memphis race, when I was working for NASCAR, I rode out there and saw it, and the banks are still there. And it's just a big field now, but you can still see the high banks, and the fish ponds are still there. But they only ran there about 4 or 5 years, but it was a really rough racetrack.
Part of the story of that track is they had a 1-hour yellow flag because of dust.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'll tell you a good dust story when we come back from this break. We'll be right back in a few minutes here, guys.
The Legends of Racing Radio Show originates live from the very spot where beach racing began.
Welcome to Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. You're right in the middle of all the action. Daytona International Speedway, the airport, One Daytona, Florida's newest entertainment and retail destination, and of course, the world's most famous beach. You'll love our newly remodeled 1 and 2 bedroom suites, along with our popular King Studios. You won't need your full kitchen, as Homewood Suites Daytona serves up complimentary breakfast and evening social. It's like home away from home. Go to HomewoodDaytona.com for Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach.
We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim.
Oh, thank you, everyone. You're very kind. A small but powerful group, I must say. And we've got Tony here, and we're having a good old time just picking each other's brains. 1955, Tulsa, Oklahoma, NASCAR had a race. And you'll never see anything in the results about it. It'll never show up on any of the schedules or anything, because the dust was so bad that Lee Petty actually stopped his car, got out, got up into the flag stand and threw the red flag and said it was too dangerous to race. And NASCAR went ahead and went ahead and stopped the race. But there must have been some pretty bad dust, that's for sure. I know the dust at New Smyrna when they first built it, when it was a dirt track, it was god-awful. You remember that, Owen? Yeah, you couldn't see from me to him away from it. Everybody came out looking red. It was a red Georgia clay, and oh man, it was terrible. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What else you got?
How about the Oakland Stadium?
Oh boy. Yeah, like 70-degree banks. Was it 70? I think
62 degree banking.
62-degree banking. Yeah, I think it was a 5/8 mile track, if I'm not mistaken.
Half-mile dirt.
It was. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and Marvin Panch talked about how you used to have to put 2x4s on the inside of your fenders, because the only way to get through the turn is to bounce off the wall. And he said your car was about 6 inches narrower at the end of a race. And it must have been insane. This is the early 50s, so, the tire technology wasn't very good. And I can't imagine what that must have been like. The low end of the track was the first and second turn, which was 45-degree banks. Now, Daytona is 31. Talladega is 33. Bristol was 36, and everybody thought that was crazy. But 62-degree banks, that's hard to believe, isn't it? Really something.
I'm still pulling papers out here.
Oh, good. Keep them coming.
A NASCAR series called the Cannonball Compact Car Division.
Yep. They ran there in 60 and 61 at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvin Panch won both races in a Valiant, set up by Red Vote. And we have some pictures of Richard Petty in a Valiant, number 43. Ralph Earnhardt drove a Buick. And they were showroom stock.
Mm-hmm.
And they only ran them those 2 races. Curtis Turner and Joe Witherly each had Falcons. And it must have been a lot of fun. They ran the infield course backwards.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting.
Huh. When I was at the Motorsports Hall of Fame, that Pontiac Tempest with the 421
Yes.
is still out there.
Is it really? Well,
And
what a car.
It's a brute. I know several of us were over there when they brought it out of the trailer.
That's
and
right.
pulled it in.
Yep. And it beat
Still pretty memorable.
Oh man, that was great. And they beat the Ferraris.
Yeah.
And the Corvettes and everything else out there. And that big old, well, it seemed big at the time, but that Tempest, that was really something.
Another thing I ran, we've talked off and on about the speed trials on the beach.
Yeah.
And stock cars and folks. But they ran sports cars also.
Oh, yes.
Jaguars, Ferraris, Mercedes. In fact, some of the highest speed, I'm not sure what year this was, Boris said, who I think is Boris's father,
Yeah.
did 176
Wow.
in a Ferrari.
Wow.
Basically a Ferrari Grand Prix car.
Yes, it was.
On the sand.
Yeah. It must have been crazy. Yeah, Owen might have been here for that. You ran on the beach, didn't you? Through the measured mile? Through the measured mile? Uh-huh. Yeah, flying mile. Boy, it sure was. 176 miles an hour. That's insane. Yeah, all the rich guys would bring their fancy cars.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Kimberly from Kimberly Clark Kleenex, and Jack Rutherford, the sportsman race driver from Palm Beach. Never did find out what he did for a living. They just called him a sportsman driver, but he had some big money. He drove here in '36 in the first race. Had a Boattail Auburn of all things, so he had some money behind him. That's really something.
We mentioned Louise Smith once, but I haven't seen her much or heard of her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in the early days of NASCAR.
Yeah, she ran a lot of un-NASCAR races or non-NASCAR races, but she won like 39 races. And a lot of it was local tracks and things like that. But she ran the beach. She and Ethel Mobley and Sarah Christian, all three of the girls ran in the 49 beach race. And that's pretty good, having three women in the first race for the Cup Series on the beach. That's progressive for sure. But she was quite a gal. She was full of piss and vinegar, man. And you had to be tough. She talked about how everybody would pool their money and they'd buy a can of beans, a pack of hot dogs, maybe a couple of Cokes, and they'd all share when they were going from track to track because nobody had any money. Can you imagine? I mean, now it's almost obscene, the money that they're making. Yeah, it's really something. And it wasn't for these pioneers, there's no telling where we'd be. It's really wild. Did you have a favorite driver growing up?
Well, somehow, Richard Petty, he was probably, and when you were looking at model kits, there were a lot of his. But kind of gravitated more to Fords.
Oh, did you really?
And kind of before you knew it was Ned Jarrett, that blue 11, was it Bundy?
Bondi Long.
Bondi Long?
Yep.
65?
Yeah, 65. In fact, we've had Bondi on the show. Yeah, he's been on the show before. We'd like to get him again. I can't reach him. I don't know. He's still a practicing nurse up in Columbia, South Carolina. And, no, not in Columbia, in Camden, South Carolina. He's in his 80s now. He still sailboards or windsurfs, if you will. And what a guy. His father was killed in the war, and his mother remarried a DuPont's. And the DuPonts helped put him into racing. And they did real good because they went out and they won the championship in '65. Yeah, worked out real well. Great guy.
For a wish list for Mike, he ought to organize like a road trip.
Oh.
And you travel around and interview some of these folks that
now
don't
you're
travel
talking.
here.
Oh, that'd be awesome, huh?
Maybe in a couple months, Mike. You'll give you some time to work on it. We're almost done. Lost the feed. What happened?
Well, this has been quite an experiment, and I think it worked out really well. Did you enjoy yourself today, everybody? It was okay? Oh, thank you. Very good. We might have to try it again sometime. And as long as Tony keeps doing his homework, we're going to be in good shape. He does a well of a job. And it's about time to get Olin back up here, too. Tell some more stories. Yeah, that'd be all right. So, don't forget next week, Darrell Wolf. And then in 2 weeks, we have Peggy Elder, whose father was Ray Elder from California. He won several Grand National or Cup races as a West Coast driver running against the Cup guys. And I think he might still be the all-time race winner for the West Coast Series. And then we're working on Jeff Bodine and Ernie Irvin for the 22nd. We're working real hard on that. So we have a lot going on, and we'll keep you posted as to what we're doing and how we're doing, and make sure we don't get arrested for anything. We're going to try to behave. So anyway, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, August 14th, Dave Dragovich.
The Legends of Racing radio show originate